Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, whenever the fuck you're listening to us. This is Drunk Discussions Podcast. Today I have Paul up north and Logan also up north. Everyone's up north. I am in the devil's penis, down in Florida.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Welcome to Drunk Discussions. Paul, what are you drinking on, buddy?
So I switched it up. Well, we're going with rum today because we're up at the lake house and my buddy Connery, military guys are up here, Adam, and they picked up some rum. So I was like, let's send that.
You sound like quiet dookie.
Do I sound like shit?
I'll have to up you, but you're all right. You're all right.
All right,
Logan,
all right.
what are you drinking on, buddy?
I've got this summer shandy. So
Oh, I got the pumpkin spice. I've been slamming a few of them. I have the pumpkin pie cider. I went basic white boy on it, and I also have some Wicked Grove hard cider caramel apple that I'm drinking on tonight.
Good so shit. You went full white bitch.
Yeah. Well, my wife, she was like, I want to get some pumpkin flavored shit since it's fall. I was like, honey, it's 97 degrees right now. I was like, we don't have fall down here.
We do, and it feels amazing up here right now. Beautiful day out on the course.
Lauren's up there for
like
2 weeks
70.
right now.
She's gonna enjoy the hell out of it. It's beautiful outside.
No, this is where us Floridians put on a wee little sweater and get at it.
A wee little.
You guys don't wear sweaters. Do they even sell sweaters in your stores?
No.
So like the big major like box stores like Target and shit, they have to carry that stuff, but it goes on sale during the fall or no
summer.
It goes on sale in the spring for us. So people usually buy it for next winter to get the latest shit. But anyways, yeah, that's what we're dealing with here.
That's one hell of a way to start it.
I don't know that I would ever wear a sweatshirt in Florida. Like I don't think there's ever a need for it.
No. Well, when we were down in the wintertime at night, you had some windy, chilly days, but
yeah, it gets down to like the coldest I've seen down here is like 42 degrees, and that's super cold for us. Lizards fall out of trees. It's fun. It's a great time.
The falling lizards, nothing like them.
Yes, but let's go ahead and roll that intro. We got some shit to talk about today. We're talking about little guys, little tiny 2-foot fuckers.
1, 2, 3.
I'm a type 2 civilization hipster.
Jesus is watching you. You're gonna all burn in hell. That's why Antarctica's off limits. It's just a bunch of penguins fucking each other, and it causes a chain reaction. People lose their fucking minds.
Trust me, man. I've seen some shit.
Nice to be in orbit.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine.
You should probably go get that checked and shove a finger in your bum. You're laughing, but it's already in there. And we are back. Thank you, everyone, for joining Drunk Discussions podcast. So, Paul, where are you at right now? You looks like you got some doilies.
Lake Erie. Yeah, I do. I'm at our lake house up in first world problems, but I'm at the lake house right now, and the internet's not great. It's okay, and I'm using a laptop, and I brought all my stuff, and it's finicky. But we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, well, you're doing it. That's a well-designed room behind you. I like it.
It's better than what it was. If you would have seen this back in the day, it was rough. It was my grandparents' house, and when they passed away, we're like, yeah, we'll keep it, and just redid everything, and it's nice. It's very nice.
You rent it out during the times you're not there?
During the winter. The summertime, we use it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, sweet. I want to talk about aliens today because I had a video go. What do you consider viral on TikTok? Like 1 million views?
Yeah, shit. For most of us, like going over 1,000, you're like, I did it.
Honestly, if it gets over 300K, typically I'm like, that's pretty viral.
That's pretty viral. Then in this scenario, I had a mega viral video talking about aliens. I had a video hit 6.4 million views. It was large enough that George Lopez followed me, which was cool. Fucking Christina Pajinski, Push.
Yeah.
Tom Segura's fucking wife. I think I'm more excited about that than George Lopez because George, I know you're not watching. I know you're never going to see this, but it's overrated now, dude. Blue Beetle was garbage.
Just gonna call him out like that hard, huh?
Yeah.
He was in Blue Beetle?
Yeah, he was in Blue Beetle.
All right, no spoilers. How was it?
It's not a Marvel movie.
It's DC.
Okay.
What do you expect?
Exactly. Dumb crap.
So is he Blue Beetle?
No, he's not Blue Beetle. He's like the father
I
or some
was,
shit.
I was gonna say,
I
oh
did
my
say-
god.
I did message him. I said, "Hey, it's an honor. You were great in Blue Beetle," and he responded, "Thanks. That means a lot." I was like, "No, it doesn't." But that's still cool that you messaged me back. Push.
If it was
I
him,
messaged
it was
Push.
probably his people.
I messaged. No, it's George Lopez. I messaged Push. I said, "Push, it's a fucking honor," and she said, "How's the jeans?" And I was like, "Oh, so this is a thing. Okay, cool." I'm just. I don't know. I'm starting to get
How's
to that
the
point of like,
jeans?
it's a your mom's house reference podcast. Because I think Bert Kreischer is the only other person that calls her Push. That and like everyone that calls her Push. But yeah, it was cool to have a video go mega viral. I've had viral videos in the past. I think I had like 5 videos hit over 1 million, and I think there's 2 others that hit 2 million. But 6.4 million, that was pretty cool. There's good money to be made on TikTok, so I definitely recommend if you've ever thought about making a TikTok, just fucking do it. Find your niche, do it.
It's so hard to find your niche, though. I feel like I don't know. I can't. I feel like it's
You
difficult.
can. You're just not consistent.
That's
But
yeah.
I don't
think
have a
that's
consistent
what I
niche to
hear.
go after.
Yeah, you just make videos until shit hits the fan, and you're like, oh no, this is not my niche. Like I started in politics, and then I've been trying to get away from it because I'm tired of talking about how shit politics are because they've always been shit. I'm like, it's easy content to do, but I'm like, let's talk, conspiracies and supernatural, and that's been working well. I was the first person on TikTok's platform to talk about these new aliens, so I think that's why my video sparked as fast as it did.
Well, I think that's also how you find your niche. No, whatever gains traction is now your niche. Yeah. I mean, as much as that sucks, that's the reality of content creation. No.
Yeah,
That's what you gotta do.
every video since I've made the alien video, I've kind of talked about aliens, and they're all hitting like 100K, 300K. I was like, okay, gotta make a few bucks. Politics, Gade is usually fun. I kind of play the middle ground though. I lean a little bit more to making fun of the right though, because it's so
I was
easy.
gonna say you. I wouldn't say you have.
I mean, Trump
sometimes, but you
himself
get
said
middle.
that the right would be easy to manipulate, right? So
Yeah, he's right.
So are you saying I should just pander to the Republicans at this point?
You Yeah, I mean, there's a few on there
Yeah.
that do.
and you guys can stitch each other too. That'd be perfect.
Oh, it started a beef war between us two.
Exactly.
That'd be
The one
And
video.
then we'll talk about it every week on the podcast.
Have you seen the videos where they one guy stitches and he adds like if a body part goes out of frame, the next guy is in the frame doing something with that body part?
Yeah.
There's a few content creators I've been talking to. I'm like, we should make a big video like that where, I was talking to this guy, Denny Does It TV. Denver is his name. Pretty cool dude, but he has this video that got like 8.4 million views where his dog bites him in the back while he's playing the piano. And I was like, your head goes out of frame. I think what I'm going to do is stitch it and, eat have my arm come into frame with like a cucumber and I eat that as your head comes out of frame. And he was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. So I'm trying to do a content creator fucking merge up.
It'd be
So,
fun.
we'll see.
Well, now that you've said that, someone else is already going to do it before you do it. So
Oh, they have. It's already been done. It's not in that
Yeah, it's
exact
been done.
video.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and then we've got a few others, people that we're talking to, just kind of merge shit together. But, anyways, that's TikTok. Let's talk aliens.
Yes, let's talk aliens.
So I completely know that it's most likely fake, right? I mean, there's a
Do you-
good chance it's fake.
Of the one that you posted, the 2?
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
that's disappointing. Because when there's so much data that has been collected on it since they received them or found them.
I don't know how much of it I believe. So the first video I talked about was some of the stuff I noticed on it, right? Looking at the CT scan. So for everyone that doesn't know anything about it, Mexico had a somewhat of a congressional hearing where a journalist came in and presented findings on a human extraterrestrial bodies that were supposedly found in an algae mine in Peru. The bodies were covered in a diatomic white powder, which allows for natural preservation. They were carbon-14 dated to about 1,000 years old. So the bodies that were found, 1,000 years old. In other words, ET never phoned home. They're about 2 feet tall. They have tridactyl fingers and toes. So 3 fingers, 3 toes. There's no carpals or tarsals, and the fingers go straight into their arm bones. Let's see. They have continuous ribs, circular continuous ribs, about 14 of them. a deep concave cervical spine, leading to features of like a snapping turtle, or turtles in general, where the neck can expand and contract, just like ET, basically. Strong but very light bone structure, similar to that of a bird. Pneumaticized air pockets in its cranial cavity, making for a large space for oversized brain matter.
So it's
Orthopedic
got a
and
big ass head.
yeah, big ass head
It's the
compared to the rest of
typical
his body.
gray. I feel like it's the gray, like what everyone says
Oh.
they see. It's the typical gray.
It's Paul.
Yeah, it's Paul. Hi.
It looks like Paul and ET had a fucking baby, and boom, there it is. You know.
Yeah.
There's some of the things that caught me off guard, though, that I think would be really hard to replicate unless, they're obviously pulled from a human anatomy of sort, is their fallopian tubes. So there was fallopian tubes that had the process of eggs inside of them, but there was also 3 egg-like embryo calcified objects in its lower abdomen, which leads people to believe that, it's a reptile bird-like creature that's asexual, that is able to
Has
produce
multiple
eggs.
ways of reproduction.
There's no nasal
a
cavities,
seahorse.
so yeah, like a seahorse.
Like a
Yeah.
seahorse.
There's no nasal cavities, which means warm air doesn't need to enter in its body. It was pretty interesting. I talked about it, and I guess I just got lucky with that algorithm.
I mean,
You
so
also
because they're so
already had a fan
human-like.
base.
What?
Sorry, I was
Go
going
ahead.
to say you
Go ahead,
also
Paul.
already had an existing like fan base, so that helps too, right?
I don't believe that is the case. So when I first made that video, I had like 62,000 followers. Now I'm close to 75,000. But when I first made that video, I noticed some of the first few people that are hardcore fans of mine, they were the first to comment. And then after that, the demographics completely changed. So most of the videos I've made in the past, my demographics, like 35% of the people that watch my videos are 55 plus. When I made that video, 70% were anywhere from 18 to 24 years old.
Really?
So I was able to change up the age group I was, talking to, which was nice. I'm glad to get away from the older
The
group.
elderlies.
Well, because I do say shit that could be taken like ageism wise. Talking about fucking people driving the left lane, and all the old people are like, "Oh, you're hating on old people." I'm like, "No, you assumed I'm talking about old people. It just so happens I am." But yeah. So I don't know. That's aliens. I don't believe. I don't believe it's real
interesting,
though.
I mean, I don't know, because like most of the ones, if I remember reading something correctly, I don't know if it's true or not, that this dude who works for this university who did this dig, who found them, has also been like busted for having hoaxes in the past. Is that correct? Do you know?
Yeah. So one of the ones that he had was he used a deformed child, like a almost mummified style, petrified style child that had deformities. The few characteristics that were questionable for me was like, okay, did he open this up to third-party testing? Because the last time he didn't, and then when it turned out to be a fake. And he basically cried wolf, right? I have an alien, and then it was proved not to be an alien. And he did that 2 other times in the past, and third time comes in, he's like, here it is. I actually have it. That's going to be a red flag. But everyone in my comment section, like, he's a fraud, yada, yada. I'm like, yeah, but this time there has been third-party testing on it. So some of the third-party testing that came in from it is...
As he's Googling it.
No, I have images from my videos. The results of DNA testing was done by a third party, Salvador Angel Romero, who was trained at UNAM, Mexico's equivalent of MIT. His DNA samples from the alien to the NCIB database of known DNA sequences on Earth. So basically, DNA testing that's been done across the world has shown things are able to lead back into ancestral lines, and DNA is able to be recognized off of that. He says 70% of the DNA sequences identified were completely unknown origin. They've never been seen anywhere living on Earth before on any organism. Another third-party testing of forensic pathologist, Jose de J, I, I'm, let's just say Benitez, investigated whether the specimens could be a hoax. He said he found no evidence that specimens have been artificially reconstructed. The body developed naturally as a single organism with functional anatomy. Dr. Benitez drew attention to the natural displacement of vertebrae in the pregnant specimen with eggs. He said this is normal physiological response to gestation. It would be difficult to reproduce it in such a harmonious way. But looking at some of like the bones in its legs, there's no hip joints, there's no knee joints. So how the fuck does it walk? Is it just stiff-legged?
Right. Or is it, well, there's none, not even towards the ankle where the feet are.
So in the feet, there's one singular bone with the bones leading into it from the toes, but there's one singular bone that has a kind of like a pocket in the middle of it. They have joints, capsules, tendons, and ligaments in the fingers. There's let's see.
Isn't it entirely possible that their bones are flexible?
That's the thing is so many people are comparing it to other bipedal creatures here on Earth. They're like, well, if there's similar DNA, but this is an alien, how did it form similar bone structures and features that we would recognize as a human?
Because
I'm like,
here's the thing about that. When you're on a different planet, you have different species that and different types of, like, the biodiversity is entirely different. So when things are fucking things and mutations are happening, you're not starting with the fucking jellyfish or a frog. You're starting with some animal that you've never seen or heard of. You know what I mean? And then from that, you're eventually getting to what would be a bipedal creature comparable to a human. But
something that I always thought was interesting is take a look at like here on in the world, different continents. There are different creatures and subspecies that have adapted over time to get similar characteristics of something elsewhere. So like for us, we're used to canines like wolves and things like that within North America and the Northern Hemisphere in general. But if you go down to Australia, you had a creature, the thylacine or the Tasmanian tiger, that adapted just like a wolf would, but it's a marsupial. So I mean, you have, if you're given similar, prey and areas to hunt, you're going to adapt to a way that best suits you as a species to thrive. And they were able to adapt to the point of being, characteristics of a wolf, running like a wolf, everything. But the joints were different in different locations. The feet setups were different. And obviously it was a marsupial and pouched its young. So, I mean, if it happens here on this planet, why not elsewhere?
Because the only guarantee that you have about life on other planets is that they take in energy and then they excrete energy. Correct. That's the only guarantee that you have. Everything else, like, you don't know what their atmosphere is made up of. Yeah. You don't know what the surface of their planet is like. I mean,
some other things about it, though. The findings of a Russian team, independently corroborated by Mexican biologist Jose Lopez, he determined that species were humanoid reptiles. They have no hair, no nipples, and their skin is covered in scales. And a lot of people, again, were going back to the idea of, well, then how the fuck did it, adapt to this Earth, or how was it here? I had a theory that is completely bullshit. It's probably not even a theory. It's just a guess. One, if say they were here for a while, maybe they're able to adapt their bodies for the environment that they're in. If they were found in an algae mine, a reptile-like creature would be something I would adapt to, right? Now, say they crash landed here. They were completely different, and he said he found 2 bodies. So, I don't know. I mean, if there's no nipples, obviously offspring, how they are fed, maybe it's similar to that of a bird. The facial features of it show that there's a jaw joint, but there's no teeth, leading them to believe that it sucked in its fluids. Swallows its prey, yeah. So, I mean, maybe it was an advanced civilization. Where's its ship? All these questions come into play. If we're going the route of it being true, right? If this is a legendary finding and it's real, yeah, there's a lot of fucking questions. But if it's fake, obviously this is a waste of people's fucking time. A lot of other people are like, this is a distraction. I'm like, this is the Mexican government.
Here's my thing. If they, like you said, it was open to third party testing, and they were able to do these forensics and find out that it had fallopian tube areas and everything like that, couldn't we do like a bone like core sample, not just of the DNA that we took from the exterior, but like a bone sample to
It's
see the structural makeup of it? Because like I saw something where it was saying that their bones were stronger than ours. I was like, well, did they test that? Did they take a core sample or what?
I don't know. I
Um,
mean, I would imagine that they're probably using the same um, measurements that you would utilize if you found like human remains, and they're looking at like calcium levels, keratin levels, like things like that to determine the strength of the bones. But like that's kind of an unfair unit of measurement considering, like it could be that they're 10 times stronger but way more flexible. You know what I mean? You just don't know. But also, I think the other thing is all the time we're finding um, different types of humans that we didn't know about, or humanoids, I should say, that we didn't know about. Uh, where on a small island, I can't remember what they're called. Paul, you'll know. On the
The
small island
Denisovan?
where yeah.
Oompa
So like,
Loompas.
couldn't this
Yeah.
very well
That
be
was
a
over in
human?
like Thailand or Malaysia is where we discovered them. But we also found matching genomes into the DNA of us now, so we were able to show like, oh, 3% of humans have Neanderthal, and then 6% have Denisovan, and we were able to connect that. So we were like, this is another link or subspecies of human. So like we're able to do that. But if the was it 70% was unknown, that's a large
There's
chunk.
there's a mixed data that I've been seeing. I've seen some people that are saying it's 70%, some people saying it's 30%. But humankind, or humans as we are, right? We have 15% unknown DNA. So double that, give it to the next guy, and there's your aliens. But like, give you guys an idea of what these looked like. They're literally 2 feet tall.
Little
Like
guys.
Yeah,
they're
I mean, but
little
those, what
guys.
were the little tiny, there's some tiny humanoids too. A different
Pygmies.
island.
I have
Pygmy
no idea.
humans.
I don't know, but no, for real. I mean, it
Yeah,
could
no, they
very
are.
well be a different type of humanoid. And also, think about all of the
Well,
unknown DNA sitting at the
Only
bottom of
a
the ocean.
thousand years.
here's the problem though, right? Like he was saying, it's 1,000 years in dating, and we as a species are much older than that. Much older than that. At least Homo sapiens sapien is 250. Is like our guess is around 250,000 years old. So like, regardless, even if you were saying it was like another humanoid, I don't think it's even close to our species, because one, of the reproductive system, two, because of the jaws, and then three, because of the joints. Like every single one of our lineage inside of Homo sapien, sapien, fucking Neanderthalic, Denisovans, down the line, all the way to Arthropithecus, we were ape-like. We had those joints for standing up and being erect, and then we were able to follow our teeth data and how our teeth and our jawbone adapted over time based on our food and what we were eating at that time. So with the amount that we have of us, it's not us. I'm sorry. If it is anything, it's something else, or it's a fake. I don't think there's an in between. It's either one or the other.
Is
Or
it
third,
possible
it's
that like
extraterrestrial.
perhaps just the conditions in which it was found uh, caused further
Led.
calcification of the joints, and so they fused over time?
So
Just
It's
because of like
possible, maybe.
calcium in the water or something, I mean, and that's the
so
reason why they found it in the
it's like
condition
a
they did.
it's a diatomic dusting that's similar to that of what is presented from creatures that have been preserved from the Baltic Sea. So that's also another thing that caught me off guard. Completely
So
different
this method
geography.
of preservation has been used elsewhere.
Yes. Yeah, it's.
So here's my
I'd
thing,
have to
though,
pull it up.
to
I
Logan's
don't have it off
thing.
the top of my head.
Even if with the calcium increase, and then they would say they would fuse, it's like thinking about like a burl knot in a tree. Like if it would fuse around that area, you'd still see that there was an existing joint at that point, even if it calciumed over. And there's nothing like that. Also,
Listen,
wasn't
I'm
there like a
just
metal piece in the center or something? There was like a metal thing they were talking about as well inside the chest. That was looked like it was like they added it, or like not them, but or someone or something like along those lines. It was a heavy metals that we didn't even have. I thought, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so there is it's mixed with osmium, and there's another metal that was found.
Osmosis
Uh,
Jones.
yes, no. Orthopedic implants were perfectly fused with the skin and bone, composed of what we consider metals for spacing structures and equipment such as cadmium and osmium. So I had an orthopedic implant in its back. That right there in itself, if it is
that's
1,000 years
time.
old, there
Way
you go.
ahead of its time. Yeah, that's a dead
Isn't
give. If this is
cadmium?
real, that's a dead giveaway.
Cadmium is a pretty rare metal, is it not?
I have no idea.
Uh,
That's a David question.
It's a natural element found in tiny amounts in air, water, soil, and food. Most cadmium in the United States is extracted during the production of other metals such as zinc, lead, and copper.
Cadmium is
It's-
extremely rare in the Earth's crust with less than 1/5 of a gram of the metal, about 1/5 of the metal in a thumbtack in every ton of crustal material.
So yeah, that I'd say that's rare.
It's pretty
That's
fucking rare.
pretty rare.
Like,
But if
like
this
you
was
have to
something
think
that was
about
common,
1,000 years ago, all collecting all of that earth just to find the bits and pieces of cadmium and then smelting all of that.
right? If they have a technology that super exceeds ours, even if that's not even say that they got it from this planet. Like, what if they come from a planet where cadmium is like our iron or our copper, where it's just very relevant
Everywhere.
everywhere. So
You just dig a hole and find some.
yeah, we have
Yeah.
no idea. Like it could, like you said before, they're living with a whole new set of guidelines, things that we don't even know. They might have completely different laws of physics for all we know.
Yeah.
It looks like cadmium in humans leads to bone loss, especially in the dental area. But it's not used as a implant. It causes serious public health threats. It causes chronic kidney disease, bone disease, cardiovascular disease, malignancy. Cadmium
we do.
exposure is mortal. It will fucking kill you, is what it says. But this is a medical
Well,
journal I'm reading from.
If
now
it's
we know what
different,
happened
yeah.
and why it has all these mutations. They put cadmium in its chest.
It shrank
Bones
down
went
to 2
solid,
feet.
shrunk to 2 feet,
They put it
So-
in while
just
it was a baby,
ballooned. and now we
So-
know. They're like, all right, so that's what happens when you implant cadmium in someone. Not doing that
Have
again.
you seen the images of it, Logan?
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm looking at it
Okay.
right now, actually.
So there's been a lot
There's
of
a lot of
comments.
really, really reliable sources like Reuters or Reuters.
Reuters.
Yeah.
Reuters is
Pretty
okay.
reliable. I mean,
So a
might
lot of
as
the
well be the
comments,
Library of Congress.
a lot of the comments were AO expanding neck. So let me ask you a question. There's no butthole or puss, but would you
Well,
expanding neck?
do we know if there was even a dick then? If it was like a bird, it was probably inside itself, and then when it needed to, it came
I didn't
in
see
and
anything
there.
about sexual reproduction.
Bro,
traits.
there's clearly hips here.
They don't lie.
They don't lie.
There's
As Shakira
clearly
says.
hips. And there's a shin joint.
A shin
And there's a
joint?
fucking so it looks like my knee right now. You can't tell it's a knee, but there's a little like you know what I'm saying?
It's there. It's there.
There's a little like, bump there on the leg of the alien. You can tell if you look at the picture of it.
I want to transition somewhere else. I want to talk about birds. I learned a very
Oh.
interesting fact today, Paul.
I'm
Oh,
terrified
no.
of them.
Hang on,
Interesting
wait.
fact about pigeons.
Oh, fuck them. They're
Did you know
targets?
pigeons die when you have sex? When they have sex.
when they have sex. No,
Yeah,
no,
pigeon-
no. There's no way that's true. Depends on, maybe it's a certain pigeon.
No,
Not all
pigeons die when they have sex.
No, this isn't a fucking bumblebee.
The one
There's no
I
way that's
did.
real.
Died. His mic's not even picking up the laughter.
Good.
Fuck.
It shouldn't because it's echoing like a mofo. There's no mother. We need to hang some shit on the walls in here. Like,
Mother.
Jesus
Mother.
Christ. Yeah, you need some decorations up in this bitch.
Mother, I do declare, we
I
need
do declare.
decorations.
It looks like my grandma decorated it. We got doilies and shit.
Doilies, yeah.
Doilies. Fucking love a good doily.
But dude, speaking of birds, we were golfing today, and of course my dumbass chips a ball directly into a massive goose nest. Like they were everywhere. And I get up there. Yeah, them geeses. And I look
Gooses.
back at the guys. I was like, help. Help.
Man, if only you had an
Listen.
object in your hand you could use to deter geese.
Oh, I was in a golf cart and I didn't even want to get near them, bro. They're evil little fucking cobra chickens.
Bro, I will tell you this. I am okay with birds. No problem at all with birds.
I don't know how.
Fucking hate
Dinosaurs.
geese. I fucking hate geese. Like,
Not even the Canadians like geeses.
Is it because they're black?
no, it's because I got bit by one when I was a child and I never forgave
Why
them as a
does
species.
everyone have a story about Canadian geese as a child? I feel like that's just, at this point, it's accepted. If you're from the Midwest or Canada or whatever, you're having a horror story from a goose.
Mama says, "Don't make fun of my decorations."
There is no decorations. They're not
There's no
existent.
decorations to make
It's a
fun
lack
of.
thereof.
You got enough lighthouses on this bitch though. That's the only decoration.
Damn, dog in the lighthouses.
I'm looking at 3 right now.
You almost made me spit out my beer.
You guys made me ink.
I'm not involved in this, mother.
Oh, cheers, fuckers. We have.
It wasn't me.
Oh,
Oh, I just finished my beer.
So
you have
actually,
another?
what would be if,
Yeah,
if
I'd
there
love to
was a
go get another.
species? If there was a species on Earth that you think could have evolved into what those are,
Mhm.
existing in that area, what do you think it could have been then? If we're going along those lines, like what if it's even older than us and it was here before, they're just in a smaller quantity?
I think Mitch
Chimpanzee.
McConnell had sex with a pygmy goat.
That tracks.
He's about in that same age, yeah, 1,000 years.
I was watching. There's this TikTok there. Like, what do you think would actually end up killing Mitch McConnell or Dianne Feinstein? And some of them were like licking an envelope the wrong direction.
You know, they're on so much blood thinner, who knows? Yeah, shit.
Too loud of an applause. Mild Taco Bell sauce.
No, because that would wake them up during their nap, so they would actually pay attention if there was an applause.
What do you think would kill him, Logan? Something so soft, you're like,
A squishy plush.
10-ply toilet paper.
10-ply toilet paper? Just ripping 10-ply toilet paper?
Yeah. Oh man.
A llama sneezing?
Regardless, it's about time that those guys and we need to, we have an age limit, like, or a minimum, right, for everything running in political office. There needs to be a maximum. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
Like if you can have to be 35. I think it's at 35 or 45. 35
To be
to
president.
run. Yeah, president or most things. Then we need to have like a limit. Like, hey, you at 75, you can no longer run for public office.
So for local office, it's 18. For state, I think it's 18 or 25.
It's probably 21 is or
for
25.
Federal, I think it's the same. And then for president, so the president's the only one I know really that's 35.
Right, but across the board, we have a minimum. We need to have a maximum. We need to like limit these bad
I think the
boys.
federal retirement age is a pretty good fucking age to retire.
Yeah, I agree. If you're in public
Everyone
service,
though. I ran a petition for it. I was like, let's go ahead and present this to Congress. I know I won't fucking go anywhere, but it'd be cool. And then there's so many people
Let me
in my
sign it.
chat. They're like, age, or older you are, the more wisdom you have. I was like, yeah, all that wisdom you've gained from fucking 25 to 65 starts going out the window. You start forgetting more than you knew.
well,
I
when
get it.
you're in a public like office like that, right? Times change. So a lot of these people have been in public office for a long time, decades, right?
Separation of
And-
drinking fountains.
That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. We sip. Okay. They have to we have to put a limit to it because they're now experiencing so many differences in culture in just the United States alone. Like, man, get someone more relevant.
Yeah, I mean, who would you, Logan? What is going on? Hold on a second. Hold
I thought
on,
I was
stream.
having the fucking problems here.
I'm sorry.
He had to pick his
Okay.
nose, everyone. Chill out.
No, I'm going to get a beer.
Oh,
You should have just stood up and went and got a beer. Oh, well, are you mad because you don't want people to look at you like hobbling away?
He gone.
He didn't answer, so that's
My legs.
my leg. But
Careful,
no,
Paul.
back
You're gonna end up breaking a foot if you make fun of him.
no
that was
shit.
my
Talk
lesson.
about karma. But no,
Karma.
back to those. Like, what species do you think it could be? Like, if there was one that you're like, this is the most like it. Like, do you think it was a turtle? Do you think it was a fucking frog? Do you think it was a bird, or do you think it was like a dinosaur that survived and somehow managed to change? Because like you're saying things that are like lizards and things that are like birds. The only things that we know of that have been on this planet like those are dinosaurs. A dinosaur has both.
So considering like the joints and shit, the yeah, everything's hypothetical because there's no ancestral line or lineage leading
Right.
to where it's at. So I mean, maybe it isn't really an alien, but maybe it's an experiment where aliens or a higher creature came around and said, "Let's fucking take the DNA makeup of this, this, and this, and throw it together." They use some sort of fucking asexual creature, like a seahorse. They took Congress, the lizard people, and they took some birds and put them together. You know,
What it? Wait, now next.
what are you
if-
doing, Logan?
He's trying to dance with them. What if these are the lizard people we talked about? What if this is them? This is the reptoids. They're little people, and they're just they're operating machinery like in Men in Black, and those are our people in Congress.
I mean, they're fucking Logan. Jesus.
And you might as well have fun with it. If you're gonna be crippled, you might as well be having fun with it.
If you're gonna be crippled, you might as well be Logan. Just having fun with it. Yeah, no, lizard bird.
His neighbors are like looking out at the pond, going like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
This guy's shooting his crutches.
They're in
Call
the
cops.
trees.
They're in the tree. He's pulling his cock out.
I don't know.
He's
Logan,
pulling his cock out.
what about you, man? What are you thinking? What's this mixed with?
What am I thinking? I
Yeah,
was
what do you think
dancing
this
with my
is?
crutches. I'm not thinking about shit.
On not falling and breaking the other leg.
They could be what
Re-breaking my broken
Neanderthals
leg.
evolved to and never actually went extinct.
I
Well, I mean,
think
it's all-
that
no, we'll
Idiocracy
do
is a
that.
great film.
We just watched that actually, me and Connery. We watched
Yeah, we
that
did.
like last week.
That's what I think.
It's
I
Connery
think
and
that's
I.
where we're heading.
Connery and I.
See, it's already started.
You're in it. Here we go. You fucking.
Welcome to Costco.
Ramo-
I love you.
It's got
Ramo
electrolytes.
Nazi over here. It's
Did
got
you guys see
electrolytes.
the?
That's what the plants need.
I made a TikTok about it, but did you see the Iowa game?
You
The
tried
president
that
flicking people off and like people flicking the president or ex-president off.
Oh, Trump.
Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
But he was in
Iowa
jail.
won, not yet, by a landslide. And fucking, they're just flicking each other off. I was like, it's literally Idiocracy.
Okay,
We're on
I'm
our
ready
way
for
there.
philosophy class. What was the question?
All right, you asked a question, Paul. I'm gonna go drain my
Like, so this thing's
reptile
from Peru,
snake.
right? From what you know in Peru, do you think is there anything that it could derive or come from? Like, even if it was in its own secluded little cave, and over hundreds and thousands of years it evolved to what it is now. What do you think it started as? We're just saying that what if question, not that it's an alien.
What
but
if?
it
Just
was
like just
yeah.
a hypothetical. Just throwing an
hypothetical
answer
fucking
out
guy.
there.
Yeah, just throw it
Okay.
out there, guy. What do you think it could be?
The way it's built, I feel like it's built like a fucking octopus. It's got a
Okay,
big ass
more
fucking head
bones.
and then like small legs,
Right.
you know? And then that octopus fucked an iguana. And then the spawn of those two.
Fuck the stork.
Yes. No.
Yes.
A crane.
A crane. Well, same,
A
but
crane.
different. Same, but different. Yeah, like a crane or something, and have
Yeah.
them long, skinny legs that are just like no joint.
But
Well, even a crane has
it has
joints
to-
though.
Has to be the offspring
Of
of the
those.
octopus and the iguana.
And
They
crane.
have to
and
fuck,
crane.
produce, right? And
So
then
the
that
octopus and the iguana
production.
fuck. They have an offspring. That offspring fucks a crane, and that offspring
Crane.
is this thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. You're tracking it.
Fair. I'm tracking, bub.
Yep.
That's a gross depiction in my head because I feel like it would have like a long nose though.
The deep sea aliens just like captured them and made them fuck, you know? Like dog
Well,
breeders. They're sick.
That's the thing is we have so many different aliens, right? That people say have claimed to have seen. Obviously, the Greys or these little guys are the like most prevalent of aliens out there. But if we found these guys, he's squeezing. If we found these little dudes, don't you think it's just going to be a matter of time before? Because we have bodies as well in the U.S. government has come out and said, do you think it's something similar? Or do you think it's something completely different?
So, what was that aircraft officer that presented in Congress saying we have UAPs? Here's kind of
Yeah.
the proof I have. He was at the congressional hearing in Mexico for it, and he said this was a step back. This basically villainified and made a mockery of what I've seen. So he's obviously seen some shit that, like, no, it's not like this. And a lot of people are pissed off that they're small. They expected aliens to be bigger than us. But
I
a
think there
lot
are
of
some.
religious people hopped in the fucking, because I had like 17,000 comments on that fucking video. And people are expecting me to answer the questions. I'm like, no, I don't have time for that shit. A lot of them hopped in and said, well, what if it's a David versus Goliath situation? Like, we're Goliath compared to these creatures, and maybe we overthrew them back in the day. I'm like,
Well,
you
then
guys are
the whole
smoking crack
story-
further than I could think of.
The whole story in the Bible was wrong, then.
The Holly Bibble?
The Holy Bible. I don't know if
The
it's
Holy
like that,
Bible?
but I mean, the Smithsonian has, and that's been released too, has skeletons of giant humanoids too, right? Where they're bigger than we are, much bigger than we are. So if we have pygmy-sized creatures now, and we have giant-sized creatures, and there's us, maybe there was a time though where everything coexisted. You know, maybe there was
So
some
you're saying-
pygmies in the caves down in Peru, and there was some giants of the American Northwest, and then there was us little fuckers as early Homo sapiens coming up from Africa and into Central Asia. And we have proven now that we had multiple lineage of ourselves coexisting on this planet at one time. What's not to say if we go back further, there was even more. Yeah.
What's funny is
Did they hear it?
No, the podcast won't hear that, but the fucking people on Discord, or sorry, the stream will hear that shit. That's funny as hell.
Rally, pull up.
Logan limping away.
Those are some white legs, man. You really do need to get
You
outside.
gotta get some sun.
Yeah, some
fuck you.
vitamin D.
Gotta get some of that vitamin D. Starting
Yeah,
to look like one of these aliens.
Hard, okay?
Oh, that's what it is. We're just de-evolving. It's like Logan sitting in a chair for so long, he's gonna end up like one of these fused knees and a large head. Super pale and skinny. You
Oh.
crusty boy.
You crusty. Gade's in the chat. Doesn't interspecies breeding make the offspring infertile? Isn't the alien supposed to be fertile? I mean, if it's asexual and it's able to self-reproduce, sort of like change its sex and then fuck itself, I guess. I don't know.
Like monitors. Some species of monitors are able to not have to be around the opposite gender, and it can pretty much use its DNA and clone it, and then have a asexual reproduction. And
There's
have
types of tree
mini
frogs like that
clone.
too.
Yeah, many different species that do that. So you're like just using your DNA to make another little guy.
Well, I think Jurassic Park put it best. You know, life
Finds a
will
way.
Find a way.
Yeah.
They do move in herds.
But now here's the next question. With everything we're doing in genetic research that we've talked before with the mammoths, the woolly rhinos, and some of these things that we have hard DNA of, could we bring these little bastards back?
I don't know. I mean, if they're able to replicate its DNA and create a sequence of genomes that could match, you'd
no
have to implant it
thing-
into something, but it would still take in some of
It
the
would-
characteristics from its host, right?
Right. Well, I mean, if you use an egg though, and all you're using is the embryonic sac fluid inside of it, because they're egg reproductive creatures, would it take much from it? It would take a portion, but I wouldn't say a large amount.
And I mean, realistically, as far as technology goes, maybe it's not technology for them. Maybe it's a event, you know, a space-time continuum type event where they didn't travel through space and time. Maybe they found something on their planet where it was able to fold space and time, and they just landed here.
Also,
Maybe they're very simple creatures that just got lost through a tear in the fabric of time and space.
that's possible.
Here's to
I mean,
that.
there's always that option. Cheers.
Cheers, cunts. I don't know.
There's
Part
always
of me really
You've
hopes
seen
it's
the
real.
100, right? You've seen the 100,
Yeah,
right?
I love the 100.
So you know how that they stumbled onto the same thing, a machine of space and time that are well older than them on multiple planets. I mean, there's no saying that that's kind of a thing that could have happened too. Some people think that it happens here. That some of these ancient monuments that we have are actually like gates. What are they called? Stargates. So I
The
mean,
way
that's
you
always a weird. What?
Well, the 100's about Earth
the way
and
you said
artificial intelligence.
well, you said well, and you said like whale, and it just made
Well,
me think.
Fuck.
that's my favorite one to use. Don't use it against me.
I use it all the time when we're playing Apex.
You said
Beat your
whale.
score. You said
Whale.
whale.
No, you obviously didn't get far enough in the 100 then, bud, because when they get to the later
I finished the
seasons,
100.
which season?
5.
Mouse yep.
Yeah, there's 9.
No.
Yeah.
They kept that shit going?
Yeah. Yeah, you miss it a
Hmm.
lot. They eventually go to like other planets because they find the Stargate. That
What?
has been here. Yeah, oh dude, it's crazy. You missing it. He said what?
I mean, Stargate itself, a lot of people have also compared this alien to the Asgard.
Well, we talked about it before. Stargate and Stargate SG-1 had the most ex-military actors, not actors, but ex-military people that then became actors to be on it, and including like people that worked in specialized sectors on the Air Force. So I mean,
They
that's
use
like,
the outside of Cheyenne Mountain.
yeah. So I mean, hey, you never know. Maybe they've been just trying to tell us all along. Get your tin hats on. They've been trying to tell us all along.
Would they be telling us though for fucking 60 years to try to get us accustomed to what aliens look like before they go ahead and say, "Hey, here it is"?
Yeah, I mean, people are crazy. If we would have just dropped that fucking bomb, people would have lost their minds. Are you kidding me? People we lose our minds over Black Friday and Amazon shopping, let alone that.
Ooh, I'm curious on how Black Friday is going to go this year since everyone's broke as fuck.
I'm curious how Black Friday is going to go this year,
Brack.
considering
Brack?
Brack.
Yeah.
Considering the
Huh?
difficulties with the supply chain still.
Oh
Ah.
yeah, that's they'll find a way. That's money. When money's involved, Amazon finds a way to pinch every penny.
I don't know, how
Amazon's
was
broken
last year?
for
I,
that, yeah.
I honestly can't even remember. Did you guys shop last year?
No, there was no
I
point.
usually
Everything was
do.
Cyber Monday for me.
Yeah, Cyber Monday's the move now. I mean, I go to stores that still offer either a huge deal or raffle. So like Cabela's is one of my favorites because if you're one of the first people in line, first 50, they give you an envelope, and in that envelope is something free into the store. Like I want a pair of fucking $600 boots from just waiting in that line. So like the
Yeah.
guy in front of me won a brand new gun, Winchester. And I was like, okay, I was one away. So like, if there's a store like that, then yeah. But if it's like now Walmart and Target where they have their deal items hidden in random aisles, like, bro, fuck off. I am.
Well, their
in and out.
deals aren't even deals anymore. You can get the same thing on Amazon fucking a few days later for cheaper.
Right.
I'll go up there
and
with my
delivered to your
walker this
house.
year, bro, and just like start cutting people. You know what I mean?
Do you get a handicap pass?
I could get one at this point.
Yo.
Why
I'm
wouldn't
not
you?
saying to abuse that.
Cause
But
then I
like,
have to go to the fucking DMV as a cripple.
you have to
Yeah.
go everywhere as a cripple. What do you mean?
You
Why
already
does it-
do, yeah.
Dude, it's difficult enough going to the DMV, but when you can't fucking walk and you go to the DMV, it's
Oh,
horrible, bro.
going to the
They give
DMV like a normal person is hard.
They have
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
chairs. Like the one in Delaware has chairs you
It
can sit in.
is.
You poor thing, you.
Nah, bro, I ain't going to no damn DMV.
Not the DMV.
I avoid the DMV like the fucking plague, walking
There
or
is
not.
there is hell, and then there's the DMV. So,
Dude, have you ever been like, yes, I get to go to the DMV today? No, you haven't.
The last time I was at a DMV, I questioned humanity.
This isn't a me
Every day.
thing. Don't make this a me thing. This is a
So
nobody thing.
I have learned this from my 2 experiences at the DMV. What I do now, and it makes me survive it because it's always a long wait. Everyone has to deal with that. 1, I get some food because there is no sign that says you can't bring outside food or drinks at ours. So I'll get some food, walk in there, sign in, sit down, eat my food, and then I get to see something. So I get dinner and a show. someone's yelling at someone, someone's fighting someone, someone's asking to get their ID redone, and they're not doing it. Like you get dinner and a show. It's like going to the Waffle House, man. You go to Waffle
What do
House.
you mean a second
no
form of
matter what.
ID? Chaos ensues.
I do hate the DMV just because of the paperwork. They're like, you need to sign this form, and bring this type of shit with you. I'm like, I'm just getting a new tag for my truck. Why do I need my electrical bill? You know, it's one of those things. So I've literally got a folder called the Fuck It folder where it's got electrical bills in it. It's got when I was renting, I had my renter's application. It had everything in there. A fucking check stub, copies of my driver's license, birth certificate. Cause I was like, I go in, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you need, but this is everything I have, and I'm still missing something. Like,
So
okay,
what
fuck
you're
this
saying
place.
is, if I want to steal your identity, I just got to steal a fucking folder.
One
Yeah,
folder.
well, it's in a safe, but yeah, no, 100%.
One folder to fuck your life up.
Go ahead and fuck it up, dude. I'm at that point.
I think most people are hitting that point here. You know, that's why I think it's funny that they're dropping aliens and all this shit, and president and ex-president having problems, and it's just like, bro, we don't even care. We're so desensitized now. Like, we don't give a shit. You know how many memes I saw on 9/11? Like,
Yeah.
shit has gotten dark.
I mean, it goes back to the fucking submarine.
So
They're like-
Yellow submarine.
Oh, a bunch of billionaires died. Anyways,
anyways, let's make a meme about it. Yeah,
fuck,
no.
even the Olin stepchildren were like, yeah, I know I lost my father in the sub, but I have to see T Swizzle or
No,
what
it
did you
was
see?
Blink
It was
182.
Blink
182.
182.
Not even a great fucking band.
All the small
Small
things. Dad's dead. Fuck it.
My parents would have wanted me to enjoy this show, so I'm going. Bro, you're a millionaire. Bro, buy another set of tickets, man.
Can't
did you
buy
see the
another
chicken?
dad. That's for sure.
$6.49 a pound.
No, that's in Florida, bub. We just go down the road. I get free chicken from my neighbors.
I'm sure you get some free cock from your neighbor.
I do, and eggs, and then I give them peppers. You know, if all hell broke loose, me and my neighbors would be so tight knit. We've our own commune. People would be fucked up. Try to mess with us, bro. We're surviving. We collecting rainwater now. Fuck the government.
Who do you think out of the three of us, the world hits the fan? Who do you think will become a cult leader?
Oh, me for sure.
Yeah.
I have the guns.
You're gonna bow down.
Bow down, bitch. Yeah, I ain't gonna be no Negan or nothing, but it's whatever.
Gotta be careful.
You've never seen The Walking Dead, Negan?
Oh, I've seen The Walking Dead, but come on.
You thought no, I ain't going other ways. No. But I mean, regardless, that's what's gonna survive are these small little pockets of communities and different, forms of government to do their thing if all shit went to hit the fan.
Would you start your own religion?
No. Yeah, the pizza monster religion. Everyone must eat pizza every Friday.
Yep.
Not a bad religion. I'd join.
And then the biggest thing is if I started this religion, would pineapple on pizza be allowed, or is that like in straight to jail?
You know how
I think it's like
difficult
a
it is going to be
communion.
to just have pizza every Friday? If the world is fucking ending?
Yeah, fuck it, I would.
We got people
What
in
are
the
you
chat
gonna
right
do,
now.
like-
They join in a heartbeat.
Oh, then
You
there we go.
making-
We're having the pizza religion, guys. This is happening. We believe
How are we
in the pizza
making
monster.
pizza consistently?
Jabba the Hutt.
How do we make it consistently? It's very easy. You grow tomatoes, you grow wheat, and you have to have yeast. So just get a.
We're starting a farm. Okay.
And then I'll bring the pineapple. I mean, the transfer, like
Straight to
extra
jail.
meat.
Straight to jail.
I could bring the pineapple because of where I'm at, right? I can grow pineapple. I can
It's
grow
disgusting.
avocados, limes, citrus.
For pizza?
So, yeah, he's fucking
You
wrong.
putting
Get
all this
fucking
on
freaky with
pizza?
it.
Oh,
I
he's
do have
talking
to-
about margaritas.
Back
yeah,
to the
I'm
cult
down with
leaders.
that.
Why is it that Connery looks like he would be the cult leader that says that he's only allowed to fuck the women?
Because I would be. Fucking dead.
Logan looks like the one that would be like, okay, let's do this.
No,
Paul would be
fuck
the
you.
one that watches.
I'm in the fucking corner like, yes, yes.
Oh, a casual cuckold. Oh, fuck. Everyone's getting fucked in my religion, okay?
Hey, the pizza cult is real now, everyone.
It's a dick in the box, and you're
Could
like,
you
this is
imagine walking up?
pepperoni.
And it's like May the power of pizza be with you. And you take a bite, and then they take some sauce and just rub your forehead.
Simba.
Zimba.
Saspa.
Instead of Ash
want some
Wednesday,
pizza.
it's just Sauce Sunday.
Sauce Sunday. Instead of the blood of Christ, it's the fucking sauce of Paul.
Oh god, that sounds wrong.
Hold up.
You want my sauce, little man?
I asked for mushrooms in my pizza, and he opens the box. There's only one.
It's so sad because I want those to be in there.
I know. All right. Well, sorry for the tangents, everyone. Thanks for joining Drunk Discussions podcast. We definitely went off the rails with this one. You can find our podcast wherever podcasts can be found come Monday. If you want to join the live, we're live every single Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on Twitch. With all that being said, peace.